Hello everybody, welcome back. And this is the second episode, there we go, second episode of the Stuff of Legend, so welcome back to you all. Now this is the third time I'm actually recording this, because the first time was crap and I got a whole bunch of words mixed up and I didn't like it, so I threw it away. And the second time, the video got corrupted and it was all gone, completely gone, like 30 minutes. And I was, that sucked, so, oh well. Third time's the charm, right? So, we're gonna go right into it. Now, there we go. We're gonna watch a couple of battles, and I kind of want to show you something that's occurring, right? So, this is VGC 2016, right? So, this is the thing that we're looking at. Let's see, you got, here's a Groudon, so, Groudon, there we go. And here's a Primal Kyogre. Okay, interesting. So let's get away from that one. Let's grab another one. Let's see what we got. There we go. Primal Kyogre and a Primal Groudon. Okay. Let's get another one. And I'm just picking these at random, right? Here's another, actually, this is both. You got a Kyogre and you got a Groudon here. This one's got both as well. Primal Kyogre and a Primal Groudon. There goes the Kyogre. There we go. So, in other words, there's a lot of Kyogre out there. And there's a lot of Groudon out there. And you can't really analyze one without the other. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to take a look at Kyogre. Now, Kyogre, what is Kyogre? Well, it's a mono water type, quite heavy. It's more based on special attack and special defense. It has 100 HP, it's quite nice. Attack is 100, usable. Defense is 90, could be better. Special attack is 150, that's really nice. Special defense is 140, also very, very nice. And speed is 90, so it's more of a special hitter. It has the ability Drizzle. Let's take a look at Drizzle. There you are. Drizzle. Weather changes to heavy rain when the Pokemon enters battle. As of X and Y, this lasts 5 turns. Okay, so let's take a look at weather. That's sunlight. Rain. Here we go. Let me see. So activation means you can use Drizzle. Blah blah blah. Effects. Water type moves base power is now increased by 50%, while fire type moves is fire type move base power is decreased by 50%. So it's kind of like that. And of course, there's a couple of other things, but I'm not going to go into that right now. Now, usually you don't see a lot of normal Kyogre out there. If you do see a normal Kyogre, well, I would suggest it has something like maybe a Damp Rock. You want to have a nice rain team. But then, I don't know, maybe even just better to have a Kyogre, or the Primal Kyogre, so, I don't know. You could potentially give it an Assault Vest, you could give it a Lumberry, maybe even a Life Orb, whatever. I mean, it's just, like, 99% of all Kyogres out there are Primal, at least in VGC. If you see a Kyogre, pretty much always going to be Primal, so be aware of that. So that's why we're going to actually switch. Actually, no, first things first. I think I'm actually done talking about normal Kyogre for a sec. I'm going to switch to Groudon because I want to show you something while I'm at it, right? Because normal Kyogre, like we saw, come on, get the stats. Stats, there we go. Like we saw, these are actually mostly based on a special attacking Pokemon, right? Or at least something that hits with special attacks. This guy, Kyogre, which we talked about last time, it's pretty much the exact inverse. If you look carefully, HP is exactly the same as Kyogre. Speed, exactly the same. But attack and defense are actually 150 and 140, while special attack and special defense are 190, respectively, which is exactly the inverse of this one. Right? So in that particular case, Drought summons Sunlight, which also lasts for 5 turns, it kind of plays like that, right? They're almost the exact inverses of each other, right? And that's why you can't really talk about one without talking about the other. They're the two sides of the same coin, right? So I'm not going to really spend too much time on these guys. There we go. You guys go away. Now let's look at the primals of both of them while giving some preference, or no, not preference, not the right word. some priority. There we go. Some priority to Primal Kyogre. Because we talked about Groudon in the last episode, so no need to talk about that. So this guy, let's take a look. 100 in its HP, so nothing changes there. It gets 150 in its attack, which is really nice. It now becomes actually a very viable physical attacker, right? 150 in its attack is really not bad at all. And you can do some serious damage with that. You can do waterfall, you can do earthquake, you can do actually a whole bunch of things. We'll go through that in a sec. Defense 90 doesn't change, speed doesn't change either, and here you get some really nice buffs. You get 180 in its special attack, right? So now it's just risen to astronomical levels, and special defense is 160, which is, you know, just crazy. And this is why it's one of the reasons why Primal Kyogre is so BA, because I mean, look at these things. You have like, if I'm correct, it has I think it has a base stat total of 720, which is, you know, astronomical. And it has moves that can boost that up as well. Let's take a look at this. It has Calm Mind, right? Which means that this, if you use one Calm Mind, and it's a water type, so, you know, it will probably be able to survive any one shot, right? If you give it full in its defense, I mean, it's going to survive anything. And then you give it Calm Mind, this just goes to astronomical proportions, and its defense, or special defense, well, have fun trying to kill it by hitting it with a special defense move. It's just going to absorb it like no one's business, right? It's going to chew you up and spit you out. It's like, you know, last week's leftovers. So Calm Mind is very dangerous. Origin Pulse is just, you know, once it gets a Calm Mind going, or with even out a Calm Mind, Origin Pulse does an incredible amount of damage. It's 110 base power, special attack, water move, so it gets the boost from a special attack. It gets the stab bonus. It gets the boost from Primordial Sea, which, if we'll look, this is Heavy Rain. Water type moves base power is increased by 50%, while fire type moves don't work at all, right? So it gets a 50% boost from Primordial Sea. It gets a 50% boost from Stab, so now it's a 2 times boost already off the bat without Calm Mind at all. So now it's a 220. It's a 220 move coming off of 180 special attack, right? And that's without any investment or anything like that. It's just gonna hit everything, and it's a spread move. It's a spread move as well, so it's excellent in VGC. Now, it does have 85% accuracy, which is not as great. That's why some people actually go for the Water Spout. There we go, Water Spout. There we go. Which is 150, right, with 100% accuracy. So it is powerful, and it gets the 100% accuracy, but it has less PP, and it's less powerful as the user's HP decreases, right? Which some people don't actually notice. They just think, oh, you know, Water Spout, let's just use that. If you have some healing moves, like Wish or something, you can switch into a Wish, then sure, that works. But if you don't, it might actually be a little bit more of a risky move, so, you know, to your own content, use it. You got Ice Beam, which is useful for things like dragons, and nice against things like Rayquaza, which we'll get into it in a sec. Ice Beam, 90 power, 100% accuracy, 16 PP, 10 chance to freeze the opponent, which is nice. You could also go with a Blizzard. Oh, there we go. No, come on. There we go, Blizzard. Blizzard is... let me see. It is a spread move. It is more powerful than Ice Beam by 20 base power points. 70% accuracy, so it gets the... it does lose quite a lot of accuracy. 8 PP, 10 chance to freeze. So this almost the same as a Ice Beam. It's just less accurate, right? It is a spread move though, so if you want to use that, go for it. You know, I got nothing to say, you know. If you want to use it, go for it. I've said that 3 times now. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Thunder. Thunder, it's not a spread move, but it's a nice electric attack. If I'm correct, it's the most powerful electric attack out there, and Kyogre can use it. It has 110 in its power, 70% accuracy, which, you know, isn't that great, but it has 16 PP, and it has 30% chance to paralyze. So with Ice Beam, you have 30%, or you have 10% chance. Let's go back to Ice Beam. Ice Beam, you have 10% chance to freeze. With Thunder, you have 30% chance to paralyze. And in Rain, which pretty much Kyogre always is, if it doesn't get, you know, interfered with Groudon or Mega Rayquaza, then it's always going to hit, right? And that's kind of nice. You know, you can take care of other Water-type Pokemon out there very efficiently. You can pretty much just take care of anything with these moves under the right conditions, right? And again, this is still VGC, so you know, if you want to put a Protect in there, which a lot of people do advise, then you know it's you're gonna need to get rid of one of those moves, maybe Calm Mind or something like that. But anyway, I'm gonna take a quick look at Groudon just to kind of hammer the point home that Groudon and Kyogre are almost the inverse. So if you remember, and if you don't, I don't blame you, HP between a normal and Primal Groudon does not change. Same thing with speed, same thing with special defense. But it gets 180 attack, it gets 160 in defense, and 150 in special attack, right? So this is, again, the exact inverse of what happens here. And it's... Again, also the ability, Desolate Land. It summons extreme sunlights, which means that water moves don't work at all, right? So, in that case, both can actually defeat each other. Both can defeat each other, but they can't necessarily always defeat each other, right? It's kind of how you play it. If Kyogre is sent out first, and then Primal Groudon, you got a problem because Desolate Land will override Primordial Sea, and then Kyogre can kind of hit you like target practice. While if you first have Groudon and then you send out your Kyogre, Primordial Sea will kill Desolate Land, and then you can hit him with a ×4 water move and just one-shot the Groudon, right? So it's really kind of how you play. You need to be very careful of how you do that. And talking about that, we're going to, there we go, Smogon. We're going to take a look at Smogon, some of the checks and things like that, right? Since we're talking about them anyway. So we got Primal Groudon, like I said. If you hit something, or like if you hit a Kyogre, there you go. If you hit Kyogre with a powerful physical attack, which is what Groudon excels in, then it's going to do quite a lot of damage. Maybe not one-shot it, but it's definitely going to do some damage. But the same thing, you know, you can use Kyogre to one-shot Groudon because it can't really take a lot of special attacks, right? So, again, but we spent enough time in that. Latios and Latios. You'll see in a minute, there's a lot of dragons in here, right? A lot of dragons. Latios and Latios. Latios can definitely take a hit, while Latios can dish out a hit with a nice Psy Strike. But again, be careful for those ice moves, those are dangerous. Palkia. Palkia gets a 4x resistant to water types, which is nice, and neutral damage against ice and thunder. So, you know, it's nice to go against some of these typical moves that Kyogre has. However, if you're facing a Calm Mind, you're gonna do quite a lot of damage against a Palkia. So it is a viable option to go with Palkia, but you need to be careful, as always. Ferrothorn, that one is nasty because it does actually take water type moves quite nicely. A Calm Mind set will actually still put some serious damage on a Ferrothorn, but Ferrothorn can actually absorb quite a lot of the hits that Kyogre sends out, and it can then go for something like Leech Seed, it can go for Power Whip, it can do all that kind of stuff. But again, Origin Pulse could potentially 2-hit KO Ferrothorn, so you need to be careful for that. Zekrom, it's a dragon, so it can maybe absorb one Origin Pulse, and then you can actually go for the Bolt Strike, which is going to do some massive damage, but you need to be careful. Grass Arceus, it can take quite a lot of, it can take a nice Origin Pulse, but it's still gonna have some problem with the ice, so be careful. The thing about Kyogre, it can just deal with almost any problem that presents itself, so, you know, it's a very versatile Pokemon. Dialga, it's a Dragon Steel, so it can take quite a beating. But again, Calm Mind set, and it's just gonna blow it away. It's not a guaranteed counter against it, it's more of a check. Like I said, physical attacking things, it's going to put some nice damage on it. So, weakest link in a Kyogre, hit it from a physical side, right? Take something that's either neutral or super effective, something like a Wild Charge, something like a Leaf Blade, something like a Power Whip, and, you know, take care of it that way, right? Now, let me see. Actually, I'm gonna go to my damage calculator for now, because we're talking about how you can actually kill Kyogre. There's a couple of ways you can actually kill it as well, which I'm gonna go through a little bit. Yeah, we got 16 minutes. Okay, we're good. You got the Ice Punch, or the oh man, I'm sorry. First of all, this is the Pokemon damage calculator, right? So this is a Primal Kyogre blank set. This is worst case scenario, so this is 252 in HP, 252 in defense, so I made it as bulky as possible from his defensive side. Just to kind of get my point across, I suppose. Let's go with... no. Oh, wait, is this a... Oh, this is an item, never mind. Yeah, the none. Just go to none. Where's none? There you are. Okay. Okay, so we have Calm Mind, Ice Beam, Thunder, and Origin Pulse, right? I'll get into some moves later, but I'm first gonna go with a fairly typical set. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really run a lot of VGC, and this is more of a singles set, to be quite honest. But you could still theoretically do this. And actually, I'm going to switch Calm Mind. Now that I think about it, I'm going to switch it to... no, do I want to switch? Nah, let's not. Let's just keep this. Nah, actually, you know, I'm going to put in another thing that could possibly work, is an Earthquake. Earthquake. It does actually know Earthquake, so we'll put it in there. Okay, so we put Earthquake in there, just to kind of show what it can do. But anyway, let me see. Mega Rayquaza. You got a Dragon Flying, right? So Earthquake ain't gonna do anything. I didn't put Earthquake in there just to show that. I'm not stupid. This is an AG Dragon Dance set. So you're not gonna see this in doubles, but it still kind of gets the point across, right? You can even theoretically just go with a normal Rayquaza. Let's do that. Let's just go for a normal Rayquaza. Rayquaza. Sure, let's go with anything goes Dragon Dance. Sounds good. Okay, so again, this is singles. Just get the point across. Okay. Okay, so this is a Rayquaza with Dragon Ascent, right? It cannot evolve. Oh, sorry. I just hit my thing. Let's say he doesn't go for a Lumberry. Let's say he actually goes for a Life Orb. Or a Light... No. Are you serious? Don't do that. Come on. Don't say it just wrecked my thing. Yep, it wrecked my thing. Alright, I'll be right back when I got that all settled out. Ah, boy. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, man alive. Alright. Anyway, so, for some reason, I cannot find a Focus Sash in this, thing. Like, here. This is all the F. It's Fighting Gem, Fire Gem, Plate, Orb, Plate, Gem, Berry, blah, blah, blah. No Sash, apparently, so I'm just gonna keep it on a Lumberry, and let's just say it has a Focus Sash, right? Okay, so this guy, let's say, so this is an AG Dragon Dance, with, of course, Dragon Dance as his last slot right here. You got Dragon Dance, which is going to do 50 to 59 power, right? That's a lot. This is against a fully maxed defense, like, hold on. Give it a bold nature. Okay, so still 46 to 54. That's still quite a lot of damage against a fully maxed out defensive Kyogre, and this is a Primal Kyogre, and this is worst case scenario. Most of them aren't like this, so you can do some serious damage against this guy. Earthquake, not going to do all that much. Extreme Speed, well, have fun, I suppose. Now, of course, Ice Beam is going to do a crap ton against you because you're a dragon flying, right? That is a good point, but as we said, we also have a Lumberry, or well, according to this, we have a Lumberry, but we have a Focus Sash. You can put a Focus Sash on there. So, just imagine you have a Focus Sash. You're going to survive at least one hit, and then you can hit them back, and you're probably going to two-hit KO the thing, right? Which is unexpected, because then they're like, oh crap, he actually survived it. And then you can hit, because you're going to be faster, you can hit like a ton of bricks against it, and you can probably two-hit KO this thing. Now, your Rayquaza is probably going to die very soon as well, but it's a way of taking care of it, right? So that's all. That's just what I wanted to show you in that. You can also go with a Greninja. I'm going to go with a blank set for a sec. The only thing I'm going to do right now is kind of just give a little bit of a... There we go. Oh, there we go. With a Life Orb. I want to kind of show a couple of ways that you could theoretically take care of it. And the reason why is maybe I'll jog something in your mind, right? Like maybe I'll shake something loose, right? So let's say we're gonna go with a Grass Knot. Yeah, Grass Knot. We're gonna go with no, not Skla, Scald. There we go. Let's say we go Ice Beam. Now, I realize these are not very effective against Kyogre, but they're very popular moves. So, let's go with the Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse is pretty popular as well. And I think I got everything. I want full investment into its special attack, and I want full investment into that. Okay, there we go. Okay, so, let's take a look at this. If I'm correct... I think I got everything. Yeah, okay. So, let's take a look. This Thunder is going to do a crap ton against you, right? It's going to one-shot you, because Greninja is quite frail. However, if you turn it into... like, you're always going to be faster, so if you switch into a Mono Grass type with Protean, right? Use Grass Knot first on it. It does that much damage, which is crazy. Because, you know, you have a Life Orb and all that stuff, you're going to do a crap ton of damage. The Ice Beam, like, he might actually use Thunder on you, because possibly people are not using all that much Grass Knot, I'm not sure. Again, I don't play a lot of VGC. But the Thunder actually will do, like, this much against you, which is nothing, right? So if you can switch into a nice Thunder, right, catch your opponent off guard, you still do a crap ton of damage, right? And now, you know, they're going to be like, oh, well, now I have to use an Ice Beam. Well, sucks to be you. You're faster anyway. You're going to hit them for, you know, everything you got. And that's going to be a guaranteed two-hit KO on that Kyogre, right? So if you can play it that way where you're like, oh, wait, Grass Knot, and then take out your Kyogre that way, it is a viable option, right? You need to be a little sneaky with it, but you can do it. Last thing I'm going to show you quickly, hopefully, let's go for a, let's go for a doubles physical attacker Garchomp, with Jolly Nature, sounds like a pretty good one, ability, doesn't really matter, Life Orb, sure, you can go with the Life Orb, I'm going to go with a Outrage, actually. There we go. I'm going to go with Outrage. Okay, so Earthquake, Outrage, Rock Slide, and Protect. It's a doubles Garchomp, Jolly Nature with full investment into its attack. Now, Ice Beam is going to do a crap ton of damage against you, right? Not going to lie. But if you can switch into something, yeah, the Origin Pulse is still going to do a crap ton against you. So if you can actually... maybe not a Life Orb. How about we go with an Assault Vest? There we go. An Assault Vest. Now, with an Assault Vest, you'll be able to survive an Origin Pulse, right? You may even be able to survive an Ice Beam, but not a lot, right? You'll have like a smidgen left. You'll probably be faster, right? You'll probably be faster, but you can actually do some nice damage with an outrage. You can do almost like half damage. And again, this is worst case scenario. Most of these Primal Kyogre out there are not worst case scenario. So you can do like almost give or take half damage against it. Your Garchomp may die. You could give it a Focus Sash, I suppose. But in any case, you know, you can do some serious damage on it because Garchomp is just going to do a nice chunk of damage. You know, anything with a nice oomph in its attack is going to do a nice chunk of damage. That's kind of what I'm trying to say, right? So we are going to also be, I'm going to wrap up now a little bit by kind of showing what kind of other moves it can learn. So it has Ancient Power for that 10% chance to raise all of its stats, which is really nice. It has Aqua Tail. It has Avalanche, right? So these are two physical moves you can use quite well. It has Body Slam, which is 30% chance to paralyze, and I think it also takes into account Kyogre's weight. You got Brick Break, I don't even know how that works. Of course, Blizzard. Double Edge has Earthquake, Facade, Frustration, a lot of hidden powers. You got the Ice Beam, typical. Iron Head, which is nice against fairies. Origin Pulse, duh. Rest. It also has Sweep Talk right here. It has Return, it has Roar, Rock Slide, Scald, Signal Beam for some reason. It has Substitute, so if you want to make it a really tanky Pokemon. You got Surf for the spread, should you wish. You got Thunder, Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave. You got Toxic, you got Waterfall, you got Water Spout, you got Aqua Ring for a little bit of HP recovery. I think that's a little bit better in singles, but if you can go with doubles, go for it, I suppose. You got Dive. You got Dive out there as well, which is kind of nice. You got Giga Impact. You got Headbutt, 30% chance to flinch. A bunch of hidden powers. You got Mimic, Icy Wind, Hyper Beam, Psych Up. You can go against Xerneas and Psych Up on that thing. You got Rock Tomb, Rock Smash, Rain Dance. Not that you really should use it. You got Sheer Cold. You got Shockwave. You got Uproar, Whirlpool, Swift, Swagger. You got Strength, sure, why not? You got a lot of variety you can use in it. So you can make it a typical Kyogre and just overpower the field, or you can also potentially even go with somewhat unexpected physical attacker and just sweep the field that way as well. It works. You know, Kyogre is very versatile that way. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Thank you all so much for watching. Next time, hopefully my recording doesn't bug out. Next time I'm actually going to be focusing on Mega Rayquaza, right? The granddaddy of all dragons, so stay tuned for that. And for the rest, sorry again that this one came a little bit later, but, you know, things happen, and eventually I got it out to you, so thanks for the patience. And make sure you stay tuned. Let me see, next Fired Up Fire Red should be coming up pretty soon. Vicky hasn't uploaded yet, but he will soon, so stay tuned for that. And for the rest, I don't think I have anything to report. I don't think so. So, I wish everyone on the opposite side of the screen a very pleasant day. Goodbye.